So I have some sad news. A friend of the show and a personal friend of mine, Norm Macdonald, died. And, I used to, we used to go over to Todd Glass's house. We used to all do a podcast together called Comedy and Everything Else. Norm was a guest on that show at least once. And I got to make him laugh on that show, which was a big deal to me. And then we would hang out. We would hang out. Todd Glass had a backyard with a fire pit, and then we would all smoke pot and make jokes to each other. And Norm would always and the great thing about Norm, which I really appreciated, was that his impressions cracked me up. Like he could do Bob Dole, he could do Burt Reynolds. He did, and so if you asked him to do it, he would do it. Most impressionists won't. That I've come in contact with, if you ask if they're like embarrassed, no man, it'd be weird if I just did it right here. He would just do it. And we would always fall down laughing. And so, anyway, God damn, he is funny.
Well, can I just share that when we were hanging out, that I asked him, and it was the end of the night, and I remember that Norm liked Mexican Coca-Cola, and we made sure that we got Mexican Coca-Cola for him. And then I remember, we had just hung out, and I asked him when we were in the kitchen, I go, hey, can you do your Burt Reynolds? Remember?
Yes.
And he did it for us right there in the kitchen. It was like, oh, you're really asking somebody to do, and he welcomed it. And it was like the biggest laugh, best thing the biggest gift you could give somebody.
It was fun. It was. And I appreciate you. I'm glad you asked him to do it, because I would have been too nervous to ask him. I was too nervous to ask him. I mean, it just seems like a douchey thing to do, because I know how people feel. So thank God you did it. Norm Macdonald, comedian, Saturday Night Live star, dead at 61. Norm Macdonald, known for his deadpan delivery and fearless commitment to bits that would make other comedians cringe, has died at 61. There he is during Burt Reynolds. From late night appearances to letting joke bombs for his own amusement, Variety looks back at his most iconic bits. Oh, by the way, when he did there was the Bob Saget roast. Steph and I were at the Bob Saget roast.
Somebody grab that Dinah Bernista.
Just rewatching the genius of Norm Macdonald's roast of Bob Saget, was delighted to see Jimmy Dore and Misra Lib in the audience busting a gut. That was my favorite roast segment ever. That was my favorite roast segment ever, because he went against the grain. Now, on roasts, everybody's trying to top each other by being meaner and darker and hit harder. Norm went the other way. You got it. If you Comedy Central tweeted it out today, so you should go watch it. I can't play it because it's copywritten, or else I would play it and you would see exactly what I'm talking about. He did jokes like this. People say Bob Saget's over the hill. Not in the car he drives. Have you seen that thing? Like, those are the kind of jokes. Like, so not funny, but he was being anti-comedy, which made it even funnier. So instead of trying to be a badass, he was doing these corny, stupid jokes, and it was freaking hilarious. I mean, look at me. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Of course, I just did not do it justice. Please, I wish I would have never did that now, because it was, you got to see Norm do it. It's funny because of how he said it. That's why it was funny. Seeing young Jimmy Dore laughing, blah, 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 nice to say, thanks to Comedy Central for releasing almost the entire set. I wonder what they had to cut. I wonder what that was. I wonder how the mores have changed.
That's pretty funny, because it was so...
Yeah, so inoffensive.
Yes, compared to every other roast.
No, I'm here with Nick Cruz from Fred Hampton Lestas. Did you have any... I opened for Norm Macdonald in 1993 in Chicago at a place called the Funny Firm. And he wasn't famous yet. And he would sometimes struggle with the crowds a lot, because he was very subtle, and a lot of stuff he did was subtle. And I just fell in love with his comedy, and he was so much more developed and beyond me at the time. And we hung out for a whole week, and it was a blast. He was the greatest. He was his greatest. And Eddie, did you ever? What did you think of Norm Macdonald?
Yeah, I don't know him too well, but when I love that style of comedy that he did, like where it's like kind of effortless. You can tell when there's some people that try really, really hard. So he had pretty powerful comedy. It's really tragic to see someone pass. So I'm just sad to hear about it. But everything I've seen from him was pretty solid.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Somebody said, JFB said, Norm said fuck on SNL. I don't remember that.
oh, I don't remember that either. But it was after 10:30, so you can do that. You know, after 10:30, it's called Safe Harbor. So you can actually swear on TV after 10:30. Did you know that? But they still don't. Because you know why? Pussies. Hey, we're going to be at Harlow's in Sacramento, October 3rd. We just added another show, 4 p.m. on October 3rd. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for tickets. And we're adding stand-up dates, too, all over the country. We're going to be doing a lot of stand-up shows. So make sure you check out jimmydorcomedy.com for all our shows.